right. Well, welcome to the Rio Culture Show.
It's good.
And yeah, what's up? So, go ahead and introduce yourselves, so everybody watching knows who you are.
Well, I'm that boy Kornertime, Rincon. You know, a lot of people know me by Kornertime, KT. And vice versa, it's Rincon, you know. A lot of people down here in Brownsville.
Nice. And you are.
Oh yeah, man. My name is Jay Lopez. Originally from Houston, came out to FAR, but now I stay in Limbo. You know what I'm saying? People just know me as Jay or Lopez.
As Jay Lopez. All right. Tell me about your group or your team.
All right, so right now, basically what we formed is a label from outside of Houston, like I don't know what the specific word would be, but I guess like a derivative of that. So I'm initially with a label called Music Corruption. So I moved back.
It's like you branched out.
Yeah, so it's another branch. So I came out here to the Valley. I've been pushing, my label, and I brought them down for a couple of shows. It's when I ran back into Quez at that Just In Case show, and I just told the person in charge of the label, I was like, look, bro, expansion is always the best possible scenario for what you're doing. Without expansion, there's no growth. So I've already known Kornertime for a minute, so we collabed on a recent track last year for my album City on Standby, and I was just like, man, bro, we click. I feel like our music, it meshes together, so I was like, I'm just gonna branch out Music Corruption and throw the Southern in there, and then Empire, to keep. So basically, Music Corruption comes from a neighborhood in Houston called Manchester. So that's where the MC stands from. And I'm not from Manchester. I'm from the neighborhood directly to the left, adjacent to that bitch, Smith Addition. And but naturally, I clicked with them because we all went to the same schools.
Yeah.
So I put the SE in there because, just a throwback, a little montage for that reminiscing of growing up hearing MCSE. So it stood for Manchester Southeast. So when I had, kept the same letters but a different acronym, I was like, it makes sense. I mean, we're in the South, like I said earlier, as far as South as you can go before you get to North Mexico. So I was like, shit. And then, it just made it happen, and threw a little logo in there, put a little spaceman swag, and
Yeah, that shit was dope.
yeah.
Shouts out to Baltemar, right?
yeah.
Baltimore.
Man,
Damn.
Baltemar everywhere, bro.
Yeah, so man, shout out to man, Classy, bro, aka the Mexican Bruce Wayne.
Yeah,
And he began down.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's all into that Batman stuff.
Yeah. So I hit him up and I told him, look, this is what we're thinking, and Classy does something where, or First Class Cinema does something where you'll give him an idea and he'll be like, look, that idea is dope, but here, look, is this what you meant? And I was
Yeah.
like, bro, that's exactly what I was talking about.
That's exactly what we were visualizing.
Exactly what I was talking about. So like legit, man, like if you have the ability to be able to explain it to that man, he'll be able to turn whatever you got
Into a
into.
vision.
Bring it to
Yeah,
life.
yeah, he'll really bring that bad boy to life. Dr.
sir.
Frankenstein status.
Yeah.
True to that. I just got nothing but love for Classy, bro. So how'd you come out? Okay, well, so how did you begin to do music? Like, how did that start?
Well, man, I told this story a couple times on other podcasts, but I've never really got into it like too much. But one of the people who's in my current label, Music Corruption, I don't know how long he's been doing music, but we went to the same middle school together, Dede Middle School in Houston, in the southeast of Houston, and he was making music with a couple of other like friends / associates at the time, and I was just like, dang, like, yo, I felt like they were pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, and I'm not talking about just like good for kids at the time. I'm talking about like I felt like they were polished. Like, if they would have had the ability to have production that they have now, I don't know how much more known or what would have been able to be of them at the time. But I would listen to them, and because I'm talking about my boy Hoffa. So he was a grade ahead of me. So I had a homeboy named Frank, Southern Grills, R.I.P. He passed away in 2020. But we would fuck around and freestyle. He used to call himself JFK, right? Junior Freestyle King.
Oh shit.
and he would rap all the time. And I was the little motherfucker that was always beating on the desk, getting in trouble by the teacher, right? Like, yo, stop that. Juan, stop that. And I'm like, bro, all right. And then I started up again. And then one day I started freestyling. And then he was like, yo, how come you don't freestyle with everybody? And it's funny as it is now, because as I got older, I'm not really timid. Like, I can talk to whoever.
Yeah.
But when I was in middle school, I'm talking about, bro, I was afraid of, like, the spotlight. I didn't like nobody to talk to me. Shit, I was even afraid to talk to girls, bro. I was like, shit. Like for real, bro. I'm talking about, like, the palms,
palms.
And, yeah, the heartbeat. I'm talking about, I fucking feel that, oh shit, goddamn. So, I mean, and it just went from there and it elevated. And then, you know, I did music in different cities and states that I lived in, but I didn't really take it like 100%, like to where I'm doing it now till like 2010 or 2011. And that's why I got so much love for the Valley, because that's when I first came down here.
Yeah.
And I was able to do a lot of stuff that I felt like, had I been trying to do it at Houston at the time, like, I don't know how much I would have stayed on it at that time. Because, I mean, I'm not saying that the game isn't saturated out here, because there's a shitload of artists everywhere you go. But in Houston, I mean,
Oh yeah, man.
yeah, everybody, even their mama's mama
Yeah.
was a rapper.
I learned.
Yeah.
I learned that this like a couple months ago, bro. Like, I had never been to a show in Houston,
Yeah.
like just like what we do down here.
Yeah,
Never have I been to a show, bro. I was fucking amazed.
yeah, bro.
On
It's,
some real shit. Like,
it's crazy, bro.
like the way it's like I was telling Lisa, like I was seeing all the acts. And the thing with me, bro, like I'm just waiting for somebody to bring down the bar.
Yeah.
You know, you have somebody that sets the fucking bar, and then sometimes another act comes and
Yeah. I feel you.
Garbage.
every person in that lineup just fucking stayed on that fucking bar and like
Yeah.
fuck.
And seeing that, and that's the thing, and that's why I'm saying it's not saying that the level of competition isn't like that out here,
Yeah.
because like we were talking before we started, I've known you for a minute,
Yeah.
and the people you've always affiliated with have always been, at least in my eyes, and I would see it to the people around us as like the upper echelon, like the cream of the crop. Like when people would talk, people would be like, oh yo, 5-Star Money Gang, fucking Sean Mecca, aka Beat Mecca, fucking E Snap. So like that's what you would hear, at least in the Hidalgo County
Yeah.
side. And there was a couple of other people that people would probably appreciate a throwback, but you know, like Fallen Angels.
Oh.
They would talk about Fallen Angels. So that's
Yeah,
what I'm
bro.
saying. Like when I tell people, like I was entrenched in the come up from the people who were doing shit, like
Yeah.
really jumping in the early 2010s. Like I was out here on the grind with a lot of people, so I got a lot of appreciation for the artists out here. So just like you said, I saw the talent out here too, and I was like, I mean, shit, it was dope to be able to refresh outside of where you're from and still be embraced inside the scene and the culture that you were already meshed in from the beginning. So it was pretty dope, and that's kind of how I got introduced to Kornertime. And you know, we were affiliated with a person on some like Harry Potter, Baltimore type shit, like He Who Shall Not Be Named type shit.
Yeah.
But I throw his name out there anyway. The reason why I know Kornertime is because we both fuck with T. Carroll. So if everybody who's listening
Yeah.
and everybody's gonna know, that name is synonymous with a lot of good, a lot of bad, a lot of ugly, and it is what it is.
Yeah.
Hey, things
Yeah.
happen for a reason, bro.
Yeah, so
things happen for a reason.
So the good thing about it was I got to form bonds with certain artists that I probably would have never met because of him, and I laugh because you can probably agree to it more than I can, and so can he, because y'all are from here, from the Valley. But I tell everybody, when I came out here, Hidalgo and Cameron County reminded me of a north side, south side beef from the 90s in Houston, because, and it's not to take away anything from the Cameron County cats,
No,
because you
no,
got like
yeah.
Nino and the Lockjaw Clique and shit like that, But when people were talking,
And it's crazy you said because that was running through my head right now.
yeah, so that's what I'm saying, and I can say all these names because I've been I've had the pleasure of either being at shows with them or chopping it up with people, but to be able to say that, like, if you were in Hidalgo County, you weren't really going to Cameron County to do shows. People were trying to come to McAllen, and then so on and so forth, and then, you know, if you didn't have like a buzz like you guys did when I first came out here, you weren't even going to the shows in South Padre, you feel me? Or you weren't doing back in the day like the FAR Convention Center type shit, you feel me? So, yeah, so, and that's what I'm saying. So if it wasn't for T. Carroll's ass, I would have never got introduced to Kornertime.
Yeah.
And like I said, with some of the ugly shit, you know, you get good shit inside of it too, bro.
Yeah, most definitely. Definitely.
And I mean, Kornertime got his own little spiel about music-wise.
Yeah, bro. Hey, how did you start?
Man, well, it started way back when we were still in middle school too. You know what I'm talking about?
Okay.
Me and my cousin started fucking around, and well, actually, my cousin was the one that really dragged me into this shit. You know what I'm talking about? Cause like, hey, cousin, why don't we start rapping? Like, man, get the fuck out of here, man. What the hell you talking about? Start rapping, man. What the fuck, you know? What you know about rapping and shit? You know what I mean? Like, man, well, look, check this out. Look what I wrote, and he'll start spitting it out right there in the hood, you know. And of course, like everybody else, we'll start laughing at him, making fun of him. You're like, man, get the fuck out of here with that shit, you know. And then after a while, he kept on doing it. Like, look, man, check it out, cuz. Look what I got. I'm like, hey, man, you know what? As a matter of fact, you do got some spit. Let me hear that shit. Spit that shit again. You know, and so I started getting intrigued by it, you know what I mean? And like, you know what? I started fucking around in school and, you know, scribbling, scrabbling on a piece of paper too, you know, and then when we were in there in the hood, you know, getting lit and whatnot, we'll start a little freestyling and shit, you know, and it led to that, you know, we created that little bond, me and my cuz, and so we started rapping together, you know what I mean? But then I left from Brownsville, because, you know, I was born here in Browntown, but I was raised in Florida. And I didn't come back until like I was a preteen. I didn't come back over here to Brownsville till maybe like when I was about 12 years old. You know, and then from here I got into a whole lot of shit. Ended up in Memphis, you know what I mean? And I've been around Memphis, Arkansas, back over here. You know, and that's when I ended up in Arkansas, that's when I started taking into consideration what my cousin was telling me, man, let's get into some music. And we were at some homie's house and the beat was on. And I started freestyling over that beat. And like, man, hold up. We used to call them the white boys because there were some black folks real cool with us, but we used to call them the white boys because they were real proper, you know what I mean? Yeah. You know, so, but they would trip out every time we'll call them that, you know, real good people, man. Yeah. And they're like, hey, you know what, man, we got a cousin named Corey, man, that he be doing that rap shit too. Maybe you should go to the studio with him, you know, chop it up and whatnot. And one day, me and my brother, we were chilling at the house and we heard a knock. And man, who the fuck is at the door? Like, really, nobody out here really knows us like that, you know? And yeah, the motherfucker almost got shot for real. And like, man, who the fuck is this, man? We don't fucking know you. Who the fuck is you? Hey, man, hold up, man. We looking for Rincon. And like, man, what you want, man? I don't know you. Hey, man, we cousins from such and such, man. Y'all call them the white boys from across the street. You know, and like, we got a little track we trying to close out. And since you know how to freestyle, we just want to throw you on this motherfucking track and close it out. You want to come to the studio with us? And I'm like, man, well, fuck it. Let's roll. So we went out there and they're like, hey, man, you don't got nothing written? Like, no, man, I got it, man. Just put the fucking beat on. And so that's how everything started for me. You know, so after that, I did that little song with them. And after that, I got a little feel for it.
That boy was feeling himself.
Yeah, I was feeling myself, you know. I ain't know nothing about no hook, about no fucking 16 bars type shit. I ain't know nothing about that, you know. And nothing about the fundamentals of rap. I ain't know none of that. Y'all just started spitting shit out. And so I like, man, I started fucking going to the studio by myself at that place. It was a nice little place. And I just go and spit a bunch of nonsense that didn't even fucking make sense, you know what I mean? But everybody that I was fucking with, they were feeling that, man, you got a little flow. They'll put it on a CD and they'll be jamming out to it in the cars or whatnot. Yeah. And yeah, man, so from there I ended up back in Florida. And that's when I actually made my first little demo called Brown City. And I recorded that at my partner's little studio out there in Sarasota, Florida. Gino Mays, you know, shout out to my homeboy Gino Mays out there in the 941, Bradenton, Florida. You know, I still have a lot of communication with him. he still does beats for me and whatnot. Like he's a producer out there.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, no. So I still have contact with him, and but when I came back down here to Brownsville, that's when me and my cousin really got together again. Like, hey, cuz, like, you know, we need to fuck with each other. You know, we started out this shit together, but we split up. Let's unite and let's do this shit, man. Let's make a little group. So that's how the whole Kornertime Records deal came along, cause everybody knows me as Rincon. That's my last name, and everybody knows my cousin as Tiempo. You know, his real name is Rey Gutierrez, but you know they call him Tiempo.
Yeah.
And so that's how it came, and Rincon and Tiempo turned into Kornertime. You know, as an English
Yeah,
version. You know what I mean? So that's how Kornertime came about. That's how it was born. And so we started doing a lot of things, and we started making a little noise out here with a lot of other local artists that, you know, that I split ties with, so I rather not even mention their names, you know what I mean? I ain't trying to throw no salt on nobody, you know, throw no shade on nobody. It is what it is.
I will.
You know what I'm talking about? But they ended up being some fuck boys, you know what I mean, that I can't really fuck with, you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, they were just snakes in the grass, and so I had to mow the lawn.
Yeah, it
You
happens.
know?
Yeah.
Man. It happens.
You know what I mean?
It's,
So
it's funny though that he says that, because when I met him, and the worst part about it is, man, and shout out to his cousin, man, because I don't want to say it to sound like a hoe, but I didn't even know his cousin was really a rapper. Like, I kind of thought he was this man's flunky. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just somebody that was around.
Yeah.
So when he, because he told me that story himself, and I was like, damn, bro, like, I thought you were Kornertime. Like, I didn't know it was Kornertime, and, you know what I'm saying? And he was like, nah. And then my cousin, I was like, damn, bro. So I was like, and the worst part is I remember them at a show we did in Houston at Zona Latina.
that's on Latina.
And I'm like, bro, what the fuck? That was your cousin that rap, bro? Like, damn. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I felt like a hoe, because I was like, the whole time and he was like, bro, everybody kind of just adopted calling me Kornertime, because when we would go to shows, if he couldn't make it, I was still repping for it. And I was like, bro, you did a motherfucking good job, because I thought you were Kornertime by itself, goddammit. Like, and he just kind of kept the name.
So that's how I kind of adopted that name, you know what I mean? And that's when I met T. Carroll, because that's when he hit me up. Hey, you know what? I like your shit. I want to do something with you, you know, woo, woo, woo. And then with Jay was also fucking with him, you know, over there in H-Town. And so we did a lot of shows out there in Zona Latina, you know, so... And, you know, met Sylvie Coy and all that, you know what I mean? I'll go in. Before the show, I'll go to her house, you know, in SPM's old room. I would change my wardrobe, get freshened up and whatnot, you know, and then head out to the show. And which a lot of people don't know, you know, about my little journey that I've had in this little rap game, you know what I mean? Because I've had a lot of haters on me trying to stop my shine. But, you know, I stepped away for a little minute, and that's when I came back and hit up Jay, you know, let's do a little collaboration, man. And so
Hell yeah, Pressure. Go check it out.
we did that song,
All
Pressure.
streaming platforms.
Yeah.
Got the video on YouTube, like 14K.
Yes, and after that NLE bullshit with fucking T. Carroll, I ended up with my partner. He's still real cool. it's funny, you know what I'm saying? But that's how I ended up where I'm at right now, you know what I mean? And I was fucking around with Joseph Gutter Chapman with that Real Gutter Music.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I did a little deal with him for like 2 years or whatnot. So he was out there taking me to San Antonio and to Austin and doing a lot of shows out there too. And he made my name a little bit more recognized. You know what I'm talking about? And I still fuck with Gutter. You know, shout out to him right now. You know what I mean? I still got nothing but love. He's another brother from another mother. You know what I mean? And a lot of people know who Gutter is. You know, he's been out there with the big ones. You know, so, and right now I'm repping this MCSE, you know what I'm talking about, with my partner Jay. So he's trying to get this thing going.
He's a good guy, bro.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, most definitely.
I see him. I mean, even though I don't really say much, because that's the thing with me, bro. Like, I'm real quiet at times. I just do what needs to be done, but on some real shit, I see you, bro, and I respect you, man. I know who's grinding and who's not.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be rocking with him to begin with, you know, because it's more to me than just music, you know what I mean? It's about the respect and the loyalty that comes with it, you know. Right. And a lot of these people out here, man, just fucking talking and ripping that shit on the mic when they really didn't live that shit, you know what I mean?
I get you.
They didn't go about it, so I'm real old school, you know, because I was really in that life, you know what I mean? So, I mean, I was really, you know, active in that lifestyle. So a lot of the shit that I rap about is probably not because I'm doing it now, but I did it. You know, at one point in my life, I did make those bands. I did make those 100 racks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't fuck around like that right now because I got family now. You know what I mean? I got a lot more to lose.
Yes, sir.
Hell
But
yeah,
you know,
it
but
changes the dynamic.
when I was young, I was wild. You know, I was
Yeah,
reckless.
hell yeah, we all were.
You know what I mean?
And then-
And that's what I'm saying. Like a lot of these artists out here, they're trying to do that shit. You know, like they in it, but I have no love and respect for those type of artists because I just don't feel that they're genuine. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro, I get you. I feel you. I feel you.
You know, so that's the reason I fuck with Jay because
it
you know.
goes back into that, like the same thing Quez said, man. Like I see who puts on and I see who reps where they from, and like I don't mind shooting a slug at anybody because I don't give a fuck. But the whole point is, most people, they get upset when you call them on that bullshit.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it is, it's because a lot of these people ain't never really had no type of leadership around them or no type of accountability to be held in their presence, so they get used to the bullshit. Which that's why I know, like, I feel like I got a soul. I talked to him about that, you know, when we first got back into making what we have now. But it's like I feel bad sometimes for people because it's like, you know what, bro, I don't even care too much now about shooting that grain of salt at you, even if you a slug, because I don't want to see you get withered up and fuck off. Like, I wish I would have met you sooner to be able to tell you something, because I don't care how old you are, everybody needs a little guidance, bro.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, it goes back into what we were saying. Like, when I first met you, like, I could see you were doing stuff and you had a vision to where it led to now. And had you been able to have everybody on the same page as you, I mean, bro, you would have been more of a pioneer of what you're doing now, because all of these ideas, I remember one time, and a lot of people don't know, but Quez don't really drink a lot. And like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, I remember when you were on that fucking straight sober tip.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Like, he would go to shows sometimes and just be on the water, and I would hear him tell people some stuff, and I'd be peeping, and I'd be like, man, that shit's pretty dope. Like, I wonder when they gonna do that shit.
Yeah.
And then fucking, you know, you see people wither off from the branch and do other shit like that, but that's when it goes back into, like, me and him, you know, chopping it up, saying, like, cause I, like, legit, this whole, like, new Music Corruption Southern Empire, as soon as we did the collab that we did together last year, the song Pressure, that was on my album, City on Standby, you can go stream that on all platforms also.
Plug.
I put it down. I put the thing down.
Yeah.
Bet. I had told him, look, bro, I want to do this. And he was like, well, I'm down. And I was like, but we're not going to do it right away.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to shoot myself in the foot. And, you know, I don't want to cheddar bob myself. You feel me?
Yeah.
And then have a good-ass idea, you know, good initiative, bad judgment type shit.
Bro.
So I'm like, we going to sit on that shit, excuse me, and marinate that bitch like a good-ass sauce. And then we're going to put it into fruition. And that's why I said, like, that's the project that we got coming out together is gonna be 9 tracks, and we're debating on how we're gonna release it, because I don't know if we want to release it like single at a time with the whole track list, because I already released the track list, or pop that, you know, as a whole project.
Yeah.
But I mean, the whole thing about it is, like, I told him I had a specific idea with the whole Southern Empire thing, and, you know, just like he said, he was raised in Florida, I was raised in Houston. Now we both in the Valley. I mean, he's originally from here, but I mean, you know, you adopt certain shit when you go out. When you go out, you know what I'm saying? And I mean, just like he said, I mean, Memphis, that's, you know, Tennessee, that's the South. Arkansas, you know, that's the South. Yep. So
I've been all over the South.
yeah, so and that's what I'm saying. But before I came here, like, a lot of people don't know. And it's funny because I've had, when I first got into music out here, a lot of people thought I was, like, selling a wolf ticket, but I was in the military. And I guess just by the way I talk, the way I sound, like, people like, ain't no way this motherfucker was in the military. But it's funny because, man, I met some of the most hoodest motherfuckers. Shout out to, I don't know what his rank is now, but I know last he was a gunnery sergeant. He's from Florida too. His name was last name McQueen, so Gunnery Sergeant McQueen. Skinny black dude with a gold fucking tooth with an F on it in the military. You know what I'm saying? Like that motherfucker was his slug. You know what I'm saying? It was in that mug. So the reason why I bring that up is because the birth of the dynasty. That's the name of the project we have, and the whole Southern, name isn't just because we're in South Texas. But I mean, it helps. But just like you said, man, I lived in North Carolina. I lived in South Carolina. So we're branching out, inside of those specific areas, soaking in the culture, listening to what they're doing, and and it all mixes. And like I said, it comes down to what it is now. Just like I said, I tell everybody, man, when people talk about time, like, ain't no sense to worry about what anybody else is doing with their time, because your time ain't the same as anybody else's. So just because a motherfucker ain't running Usain Bolt speed don't mean he ain't running fast with what he's doing. Some ideas take time to be able to form to be what it is now. Because just like talking about, had you did this before on what it is now, who knows if it would be what you want it to be now.
Exactly. Like, if I would have had all this before, who knows what would happen.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying.
It takes time.
It might could have been good, but it might not have.
Yeah.
And you might not have had the drive you have now, because sometimes when you're a motivated person, when shit comes easy to you, you get demotivated, because it's just like, well, I can do that again if I want to. But then sometimes when you really grind and you really in the fucking trenches and you doing some shit and you forming and shaping and sculpting that idea, motherfuckers is like, oh shit, bro, like I'm starting to see what you was talking about. And you're like, yeah, it only took you like fucking 435 days and shit.
But it got done.
and that's what it goes on to. So, like, I mean, when you talk about it all, bro, and then we had a little pre-conversation, like Gon Lisa was saying, like, I mean, music itself inside of what you're doing, you never really know how passionate you are about something until you're actually like knee deep in that bad boy. You like, man, you know what, bro? I actually like this, and I actually can see myself doing not just that itself, but like the little intricate parts in it too, like the behind the scenes, the podcast, the hosting, and then I mean, it's just an array of things, bro.
I mean, it's like I had the same conversation a while ago with a friend of mine, and they told me, like, hey man, like I said, if you had all this stuff, like shit, like you would have done a lot more shit. I'm like, to me, bro, like with this, if it helps everybody else in the valley, that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just want to know that I helped build a bridge. Hey, fucking give you that promo, do whatever I can to help, bro.
Yeah.
That's what I'm doing. That's,
and
I'm
a lot of
giving back
a lot
to
of
the
people.
V. You know what I mean? That's my way of giving back to the V.
Yeah, a lot of people don't see it like that. They just see it as like, oh, they're just trying to be up there. Nah, this is actually what we love to do. We like to help people. We like to expand where they can't reach.
Yeah.
You know?
And it goes right back into me saying that it's not even those people's fault, bro. Because sometimes envy is ignorance, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And some people don't realize it when they're saying certain stuff. But, hating, it's not because they want to be that way. It's just that's the only way they've ever known.
Yeah.
And then it that's why the expression ignorance is bliss, you know what I'm saying, comes into that. But I mean, and it goes back into it, bro. I mean, I honestly feel like no matter what anybody says, I've said it from the beginning. Motherfuckers can go on their memories on Facebook and say it. When they politic and say certain names and certain intricate parts of where certain people are at, I've always said certain names. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't talk the Valley without talking Curly Stone. You can't talk the Valley without talking Beat Mecca, Sean Mecca. You can't talk the Valley without talking Nino and the Lockjaw Clique. Exactly. And then I've said it yourself too. You can't say certain shit in the Valley without saying Quez, aka Eric, aka E Snaps. Like, you can't names. You know what I'm saying? The artist formerly known as. But that's what I'm saying. And it's all pivotal parts inside of it, bro. So that's what I'm saying. when people hear what we talking about, there's still gonna be motherfuckers, side talking out
Oh
their neck.
no, yeah, I
But-
get you. I feel you, bro.
But I
know.
mean, when you do something like that, people don't appreciate it until they're a part of it.
Yeah.
So I mean, I appreciate the
you nailed
invite.
it. You
Yeah.
nailed it right in the bullseye, bro.
Yeah, and I appreciate it. Like I said, I know my position and I know my role. And
Yeah, bro.
if I've said anything about anybody, it's never not been true. So if I say something about you and you feel like I've wronged you, I haven't.
Nah, like I appreciate you saying those things, bro. And
Yeah.
it does mean a lot to me, but and like my reaction is this was just my face, bro.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, and she could tell you, like I don't really picture myself that way, bro. All I do is just make music and want to build and help other people, bro. I mean, you're probably, that's what you are. You've done all this shit.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's just another day of building and making other people stand out, bro.
Yeah.
See, that's what it is though, bro. Cause that's how the world works, bro. There's some people that are real humble. There's some people that are real humble. They can serve you up a humble slice when they have a conversation with you, and you're that type of dude. Cause you don't need to say anything. All you got to do is just really. Here's my resume.
Yeah.
And a motherfucker will, oh shit.
See, that's what I don't like doing either.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I mean, people that know me, they know me.
Yeah.
No, but that's
You know.
What, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's not even you having to pull it out. Just the name is synonymous with the resume itself. You feel me? And that's what I'm saying. And then that's why I like to be a part of a opportunity to be on like this. Cause see, I'm probably. Man, and this shit could get like super biblical, but I'm not that turning the other cheek motherfucker, and I'm not that meek person. I'll tell you, and I'll give you your flowers immediately, bro.
Appreciate you, man.
Cause see, I don't want to be that motherfucker to ever say. and I'm the same thing for Lisa, man. Cause we were talking about that. I mean, I known Lisa technically before both of y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she's been in the motherfucking game. When I say she was in the trenches when some of y'all motherfuckers was lying about even fucking going to the studio and shit like that.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. I'm gonna give whoever I feel like deserves their flowers immediately, because at the end of the day, I don't know what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't want people that have known or I've been affiliated with to feel like I have like some lackluster fucking opinion about you. And even if my opinion don't matter, like I still want people to know, like, if they're around me, I'm genuine. If you break down in motherfucking Brownsville and I live in Edinburgh and I have the opportunity to go out there, I'm gonna help you. I'm
gonna break down my car on purpose.
Yeah, and then he's gonna
Let's
bring
test
me
this
back.
shit out.
He's gonna bring me back on this motherfucker and be like,
Yeah,
"Man,
be
Jay,
like, I can't make it, dog.
yeah, he's gonna bring me back. And that's what I was gonna say. It's gonna be one of two things. Oh man, that motherfucker was on it. Hell no, he sold a wolf ticket. Like hell no. Nah, but that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, like I just like seeing when people get their shit, because that's what I'm saying. Like I'm not humble because, and I tell people this all the time. Like I don't care who you are. I don't care where you're from. Like stylistic wise, I'm not gonna sit there and say I'm the greatest artist, because motherfuckers still tell me even now, damn, that motherfucker's stuck in the fucking 90s, into the 90s, early 2000s.
But that's where the shit's at, though,
Yeah.
bro. That's some good shit.
And see,
for
but I could
real.
tell anybody, now you want to talk hip hop and rap, I'd line myself up with anybody, mainstream, underground, your kid that ain't even born yet that's gonna be doing hip hop in 20 years, and you lock us in a room and we write a verse, and I guarantee you I'll make a motherfucker change his verse at least 3 times before we're out that shit. And people, and that's where I feel like a lot of people harbor a lot of resentment, especially like when they just hear me, like I guess I got like that a specific draw when I speak, so motherfuckers just assume. Like I was telling him, bro, I don't even really fuck with rap too much.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even like I'm not saying like hip hop in general, because obviously I love the genre, but now if you listen to my musical selection, I don't even really play anything past like 2010, and even if I do, it's like an occasional song just so I can see that motherfuckers is talking bullshit, and I'm like, yeah, nah, this was a waste of time. So I mean, I mostly just fuck with rock, I fuck with country.
Fuck yeah, bro.
And people, they trip, bro. When they hear like my musical selection, I put on a song, they like, damn, bro, I didn't know you listen to that. And I'm like, well, shit, bro. People would trip because, and shout out to my boys, my Marines in Cali. If you rode with me when I was living in California, I had this badass Chrysler 300, and people would be pissed because this was back in the Gap when you had the, I mean, basically an aux cord, but I had the little extension where I could put the fucking iPod in that bitch. And my iPod, my first like 200 songs in my iPod, because I had that big motherfucker that had, who knows, everything. But my first 200 songs was classical music. And it was like from Beethoven to Bach to fucking, and people would trip and they'd be like, bro, what are you doing? And I had my system turned up, banging some fucking Beethoven, and motherfuckers.
I actually have Prelude tattooed.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, and people would be like, damn, bro, I thought you would listen to this and that. And I'm like, I mean, I do, bro, but
man. You gotta relax sometimes.
Like it puts me at ease, bro. And then that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I feel like I have a specific dynamic with Kornertime, because I mean, when you cut from a certain cloth, bro, it's hard to mix material in. And no matter how hard you try, just like talking with you, like what you saying, like you're not the person that likes to pull your resume out, even if you can. You know what I'm saying? The whole point is, it shouldn't even be about the point, because people should just respect the fact that you're either a part of, doing, inviting, or whatever. But like I said, it goes into that, but it's because a lot of people aren't authentic and genuine. You know what I'm saying?
I get you.
And it goes into a song that I have on my solo project that I'm dropping this year too. The song is actually called Authentic. You know what I'm saying? And it just goes into that. And like I said, it's not even some of those individuals' faults, bro. It's just they're just oblivious to the fact, like, I mean, there's opportunities within opportunities, and just like you said, you're here to give an opportunity to maybe reach out to somebody who didn't know or wasn't appreciative or wasn't aware of what you were doing. And that's what I'm saying. Like, I reached out immediately and I was like, bro, whenever you got time. And that's exactly how I said it. And I didn't even tell Kornertime, because I sprung this up on him the same day Quez told me. I think I told him the next day, like, yo, be ready, bro. And he's like, what do you mean? And I was like, we doing some shit on Saturday. And he was like,
he's like, what?
And he's like, what do you mean? And then I was like, oh yeah, bro, my bad. It's a podcast. And then that's my fault too, because see, I kind of got the details from Quez that, you know, we were gonna showcase a track, but it was like little minor shit that I forgot to tell Kornertime. So when Lisa dropped it on
minor shit, that was minor. That was minor.
What you talking about?
I was like, you brought this up?
Y'all had to see KT's face. He said,
he's like, what?
and he did that old school. He put his phone and he's like, oh yeah, I got it.
Didn't remember what I had to say.
Because that's basically what I said. I reached out to Quez and I was like, bro, whenever you got time, no rush, bro. You have a slot open. And I said it like I'm saying, I got a lot of respect for Quez. And I told him, bro, I'd appreciate you get my team on there, bro. We come out and he's like, yeah, bro, no doubt, bro. When I hit you up, we'll get it locked in. And then sure enough, he hit me like, bro, like on some Mission Impossible, like this message will detonate in 5 seconds. And I'm like, I'm ready, bro. And he's like, good. If you accept the fucking parameters of the mission type shit. Yeah. So I mean, that's basically what it was, bro. So I definitely wanted to come and talk about that. So,
yeah, man, it's all good, man. Shit, it's good stuff, man.
Well, I gotta ask you a few questions before we. All right. It's not. It's nothing bad. It's nothing bad. Yeah.
Kornertime gotta answer some questions.
Yeah, you're gonna answer some questions too. All right. So the first question is gonna be for you, Mr. Lopez. You ready?
Yeah.
So what's the worst job you've ever had?
Oh man, the worst job I ever had. All right, so I ain't gonna lie. The worst job I ever had was I was a server for this restaurant called Brady's Landing in Houston. Like, it was like an upscale restaurant. They would have banquets and stuff like that. And I was like 15 years old when I worked there. I had to get a little paperwork signed out. But it's because I had my first kid real young, so I was like, man, I gotta try not to be on some crazy stuff. So I went to work there, and I used to work with these old ladies. Everybody knows now because they just rebooted. But you know, Hocus Pocus.
Yeah.
It looked like them three, right? But just like the Mexican version, the fucking Univision type shit. And I remember.
48.
Yeah. I remember one time. See, I got a cousin. His name's Archie. All right, and when people hear that, automatically they're like, "You got a cousin named Archie? This motherfucker white, huh?" And I'm like, "Well, technically, you know, his grandpa was Jewish, so I guess that motherfucker white, but you know, his last name Henry too. Shout out to my cousin. His birthday just passed the other day. Happy birthday, bro! I love you. But we went there, and obviously we speak Spanish. You know what I'm saying? And our Spanish being from Houston, it's not like too Tex-Mex. So it's like some Spanglish, Thai, like that motherfucker's like damn near its own language. But these old ladies was talking shit about my cousin, and I walk into the kitchen, and I'm like, man, who these fucking hyenas talking about? And then so I tell them in English, because they couldn't really talk no English. And I tell them in English, who y'all talking about? And they're like, oh, we're not talking about you, Juan. And
you, Juan.
And then I was like, okay. And I was like, but who y'all talking about? And then they said something in Spanish. I mean, this is damn near fucking 20 years ago almost. Yeah. So I don't remember what I said to them in Spanish, but you should have seen their fucking faces. So they're like, oh shit. And I was like,
they didn't think you knew that.
And I was like, bro, first off, my name is fucking Juan. You know what I'm saying? Y'all, anybody would hear me, I call myself Juan. So people get nervous. Like, I don't know what he said. But then I'm like, Juan. You know what I'm saying? I gotta put that, right? and then motherfuckers is like, oh shit. And I'm like, bro, my name should tell you that even if I couldn't speak it, I understand every motherfucking thing that you are saying, bro. So tread lightly, goddammit.
So what are you most excited about right now?
Well, I'm most excited right now about releasing this project, you know, the Birth of a Dynasty. You know, we're really excited about that. You know, hopefully it does become a success, you know. And working with Jay Lopez on this, you know, so I'm pretty excited about that, you know, and releasing this, see the outcome. And we got a little video lined up from Baltimore, you
First
know.
Class Cinema.
Yes, sir. And I know that one's gonna be fire, no question, you know what I mean, hands down. So I'm pretty excited about how this is gonna take out.
What do you consider the most overrated virtue? Yeah,
Monogamy.
What? Definitely. Definitely.
I'll quote, let the seed, I can't quote it, but it says something about let the seed be fruitful, you know what I'm saying? So.
Well, it's a little bit too fruitful. A little bit too much, I think.
But yeah, monogamy for sure.
Monogamy, yeah. Do you agree with that?
No comment.
Woo!
I'm gonna have the sniper outside waiting for me right now when I hear that.
Oh, I get you. All right, well then, let's go with what is your most treasured possession?
My most treasured possession is my family.
Most definitely.
You know, my wife and my kids. You know, it's priceless. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And I give anything for them, do anything for them. You know, and that's no question. You know, and everybody that's in my circle right now, I guess they already know that about me. You know, I take that very serious, you know, my family, and that's my most treasured possession right there.
I want to change my answer just based off of him, because now I'm looking like a jerk and shit out there like, damn, this motherfucker Jay Lopez. Oh, shit, bro. Fucking hell.
You done messed up on the first question, man.
You're going to perform in a little bit. Tell us a little bit about the track you're going to let us in on.
Well, I'll tell you the name of it. I'll let Kornertime jump on it, because technically it's his song, but it's on the upcoming album. I'm honored to be featured on it. It's basically called Block Bleeder. So, yeah, Kornertime.
Tell us about it.
Well, Block Bleeder is just a little song that we got coming out. You know, it's just about my lifestyle, what I've been in, you know what I mean, what I've done. And that's pretty much what it's about, you know what I mean, that grimy gutter life, you know.
Story you just had to get out there.
Yeah, story I just had to get out there, you know what I mean. I'm no longer living in that path, you know. I'm straight and narrow, quote unquote.
Quote unquote. He brought out the quotes.
You know what I mean, but
All right.
I try to be, you know what I mean, because I can't have another strike. You know, I get another strike, I ain't looking at nothing less than 25, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I repeat again, you know, I got a lot more to lose now.
Yeah.
Back in the day, I mean, I really didn't care.
Yeah.
You know, go to prison, shoot me dead right here on the spot. You know, I mean, I was living that life, you know what I mean? I was bound by it, you know, but, you know, as time passed, you know, my family is what made me change my ways, you know, and it hit me, you know, and like, you know, I can't be living like this, you know what I mean? I want my kids growing up without a father, you know what I mean? And so that's why I had to, but you know, it's still a part of me, so that's what I'm speaking on.
That's what's up.
That's
Yeah.
what's up.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on the Rio Culture Show.
Shout out.
Plug in your social media so everybody can know about y'all.
Yeah, it's that boy, Kornertime, Rincon. You can find me on Facebook, on TikTok, on Instagram. It's all the same. Kornertime, Rincon. Kornertime with a K, baby.
All right, so mine is a little bit harder, you know what I'm saying? Because you're going to look the government name up and you're going to put Juan Lopez and you're going to see a lot of motherfuckers, but just look for this face. All right? And I'm probably going to be mutual friends with you.
It's
with
the
your friend.
special face.
Yeah.
Don't forget.
Yeah, you got to look you gotta look for that face, but on Instagram and TikTok and all of that is J Lopez MCENT. So yeah, you know, get on that. And then also we just started a new YouTube channel, Music Corruption Southern Empire. It doesn't really have much on it now because we're waiting to get more content to be able to throw on there. So just like we were saying, it ain't rushed. But go subscribe on that, Music Corruption Southern Empire. Go look it up. You'll see the fly spaceman, and you'll know what time it is, man.
Yeah, most def.
That's what's up. Well, thank you for tuning in to the Rio Culture Show. I am Ganlisa, and this is Quez.
Black.
Join us till next time.
Music corruption.
Southern Empire. It's that Kornertime, baby.
J Lopez.
Rincon.
MCSE.
Black bleeder, nose bleeder, yeah, I got my heater. Taking headshots cause I'm hungry like hyenas. Respected in this kingdom like a lion. So used to thunder and the lightning, baby, call me Poseidon. Black bleeder, nose bleeder, yeah, I got my heater. Taking headshots cause I'm hungry like hyenas. Respected in this kingdom like a lion. So used to thunder and the lightning, baby, call me Poseidon. Rincon, the name is KT, so wired up like amphetamine. Plugged in like extension cords, chopping down that boulevard. Hop out with extendos, stack my bread like Legos, and eat you up like Egos. I've been a hustler, I've been a trap, I've been a stepper, make the hammer clap. Don't make me pull up to your habitat. Ain't no killer, just a businessman. COD is how I get the bag. Draped up and dripped out in a Cadillac.
Draped up and dripped out in the Cadillac.
Black bleeder, nose bleeder, yeah, I got my heater. Taking headshots cause I'm hungry like hyenas. Respected in this kingdom like a lion. So used to thunder and the lightning, baby, call me Poseidon. Black bleeder, nose bleeder, yeah, I got my heater. Taking headshots cause I'm hungry like hyenas. Respected in this kingdom like a lion. So used to thunder and the lightning, baby, call me Poseidon.
Ain't no line in my blood, so here goes the proof. Got to side with the clan, so you know that I'm Zeus. Mix a clout with the juice, that's the nectar of gods. Brought the heat to the scene, cause I'm holding the cards. Been about to gamble, fam, ain't no treading the line. R.I.P. Guru, you and Thug Mansion fly. For real, it's still block bleeder to the core. Cause it's eat, sleep, repeat, then bleed the block some more.
Black bleeder, nose bleeder, yeah, I got my heater. Taking headshots cause I'm hungry like hyenas. Respected in this kingdom like a lion. So used to thunder in the lightning, baby, call me Poseidon.
Black bleeder, nose bleeder, yeah, I got my heater. Taking headshots cause I'm hungry like hyenas. Respected in this kingdom like